which was the highest quality gun, sir, it's this one.
What is the quality of this gun?
That's a Glock. Glock actually did that, and these are actually great sellers for us. We sell all the time.
You sell with the picture?
We do. It comes exactly like this from Glock.
Wow. Good. And they sell well. They like me.
Of course.
They like me.
I gotta buy one. I want to buy one.
Sir, if you want one, this one.
No, I want to buy one. I want to buy one.
Can I get one more picture with the president?
Go ahead.
Somebody there had one of the most annoying laughs ever. And it's just natural. I'm sorry. It's okay. But there, Donald Trump showed up at a gun shop in South Carolina and was being shown a very particular, very special gun. Benny Johnson, amongst other conservatives, were losing their minds over the fact that Donald Trump was near guns. He was in a gun shop, and actually there was one he was holding, and he went, "Oh my God!" This is what Benny said. Trump handles a custom Trump 45 Glock at Palmetto State Armory in Summerville, South Carolina. American badass, because he's holding a gun that someone created and etched his face in the handle of, because that's badassery. Even more so, let's look at this next picture. And Bridget Gabriel also tweeted this out or X'd it. How cool. Donald J. Trump just purchased a Glock in South Carolina. I love this president. Did he purchase a Glock in South Carolina? Look at the way he's holding the gun, first of all. Hey, so for the gun nuts out there who always like to talk about how, hey, if you don't know anything about guns, you can't mention it at all. I feel like this is a pose with a gun and not really him holding a gun. It's holding it very delicately, that American badass, so he can pose with it, because that's what he's there for, to pose with a gun that he then said he was going to buy because his face was on it. There's another person, Steven Cheung, his campaign spokesperson, also posted about it and said, President Trump purchases a Glock in South Carolina. So badass. This is what they're campaigning on, by the way. There's a problem with this whole thing, though, because as Trump said, I'm going to purchase this gun because it has my face on it. If he did so, he'd be breaking the law. Maybe that's why they're going to lift some of these more gun laws, too. Here's the details on that. Under the main federal gun law, 18 U.S.C. 922, it's illegal for merchants to sell firearms to people who are under indictment for crimes carrying sentences of more than a year. That includes Donald Trump. Indicted defendants are also barred from shipping or receiving any weapons that have crossed state lines. So you can't even get it sent to you, bro, back in Florida or wherever you're hanging out at the time. And also within hours of this, though, that same spokesperson who was talking about how awesome it was, and look what he's buying, a Glock, like he said he's gonna do it. He then took that tweet down or X'd down, because that would have been illegal. President Trump did not purchase or take possession of the firearm, is what he then wrote. He simply indicated that he wanted one. Calm down, you guys. Just calm down. He just said he wanted to buy it because that was part of his photo op. So as long as you guys can recreate this whole situation in your mind, understand he didn't buy the gun, so he's not necessarily an American badass. He wasn't ready to shoot that gun, so he's not an American badass. Matter of fact, he lied about wanting to even buy it because he can't do it anyway. Is he a softie now, Trae?
I mean, he's been a softie. Like that's nothing new. But yeah, as soon as they were going to get fully torqued as soon as Trump even got within 50 feet of a gun show or guns. You know what I mean? That's their two favorite things, colliding like that. But it is funny that they have to keep, it's like the evangelicals have to pretend that they truly believe he's like a holy man. It's the same thing with them and believing that he's a genuine American badass, like he's Rambo or something, like they depict him in all their oil paintings. Then you put an actual gun in his hand and he's like holding it like it's a puppy or something like that. Like I like it. It has his name on it. It's got like Trump 45 on the side of it. So I wish he would have held it up by his face. You could see both, like he's smiling, holding it by his head. Like, can you see my name on there? And he's pointing a gun at his own face because that's how dumb he is.
I was wondering that.
And also there's just so many layers of hilarious typicality to this because of all that. And then also the fact that it was, a felony on top of it, like another one to add to the list. He was breaking the law without realizing it. Yet again, I'm kind of surprised that they took it down or are acknowledging that they care that they broke that law, because that hasn't generally been their move before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who
so cares?
Maybe
oh my
that's
God,
a step
Donald
in the right
Trump
direction. But yeah.
It's how they operate. And there's another part about this, because this is what I did see and I wasn't sure about, and I had to confirm it this morning. Did you hear about this part? Because over at this local Jacksonville, I think it was a news outlet, pointed out that this particular place, as it was called, the Armory. One more time, I want to get Palmetto State Armory. Maybe it was an accident. Maybe it was a coincidence, Trae. But at least one of the weapons used in the deadly racially motivated shooting in Jacksonville, Florida that killed those 3 black folks in that Dollar General store from that white supremacist who's he painted swastikas and a bunch of racially charged things on that same gun that he used to kill black folks, targeted them specifically, was purchased at the same Palmetto State Armory in South Carolina. So he took it from there and had it over in Florida and was shooting folks specifically with it there. There's images that the sheriffs down there then point out when they were pointing out the things he wrote on the gun, and etched in one of those guns was the logo from Palmetto State Armory. Again, white supremacist, people like to say wolf, mental health conditions with him. It's nothing that it's any connection to anyone else. But Donald Trump shows up at the same place that sold him one of the guns that murdered 3 black folks specifically because they're black. I don't know if it's a head nod, a silent thing, but either way, if you figure it out later, maybe you should address that you shouldn't have been at that place. It's just too many connections for me.
Yeah, I agree with that last part. Like, if that they find that out, and he should acknowledge it, and be like, hey, just so you know, it wasn't on purpose. You try finding a gun store in the South that hasn't sold guns to Nazis. You know what I mean? But honestly, though, that's probably true. But yeah, no, I don't think he knew. He didn't know it was a Glock. You know what I mean? He's like, now, is this one of those Tech 9s they got out there? Like, what do you call that? And they're like, this is a Glock, Mr. President. Like, he clearly doesn't know anything about any of it. But yeah, I mean, that's a truly unfortunate circumstance. And I'm sure they do know now, and he has been told, and, they're going to just let that ride. So what's kind of the difference in the end? You know what I mean? Whether they did it on purpose or just, don't acknowledge that they did it at all. You know what I mean? I'm
not sure if they even knew. I mean, look, as you said, who knows how many gun shops across the country sells to people who go and commit murder, because that's how murders happen. People buy guns.
Yeah, that's what guns are, for, or oftentimes for, yeah. So
I at least want to put that out there. It's not a matter of Palmetto Armory being like in cahoots with white supremacists. I don't know, but this doesn't indicate that specifically. But when it comes to these maybe potentially veiled head nods after the fact, you just got to check all your traps, because you never know where some of the folks that openly support you get their weapons before they commit murder. In case you guys are okay with the way he's holding a gun and posing with it and actually has no intention of buying it, because who knows how much he's into guns himself, there's one more part about this. Because what about his stances on gun control? Because, Donald Trump, as they point in some of these tweets, because he's holding a damn gun with his face on it, it means that he's all about our precious Second Amendment, and anything about that has to be wide open and have absolutely no regulation. One Donald Trump from March 12th of 2018 tweeted this out. This is after the Parkland shooting. Very strong improvement and strengthening of background checks will be fully backed by the White House. Is he talking about Biden's White House? Because this is in 2018. Legislation moving forward. Bump stocks will soon be out. He says bump stocks will soon be out. Highly trained expert teachers will be allowed to conceal carry. Okay, he's back on track with them. And also he says subject to state law. Armed guards are okay. Deterrent. And also, one more piece. CBS News pointed out that in his 2000 book that was entitled The America We Deserve, that someone else must have written, is what he said as far as his support on ban on assault weapons. I generally oppose gun control, but I support the ban on assault weapons, and I also support a slightly longer waiting period to purchase a gun. Are you guys Xing about that? Are you tweeting about how he's this soft lib who doesn't want you guys to have your guns? Donald Trump is coming for your bump stocks. He's coming for your assault weapons. And he also has no intention of trying to expand our mass gun problem in our country. He must be a lib. I think you guys are figuring this out too. I'm about to get out of here. You got last thoughts, brother?
Just that, I kind of remember when that happened in 2018 and kind of being like, well, at least he's not a total lunatic on every single thing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to go after him too hard for showing some semblance of sensibility when it comes to guns, especially considering when he talks, they listen. I mean, they'll still just remain as fanatical about guns as ever and pretend like he never said those things is all that'll happen. He's not actually going to shift them in any real direction. But still, it's better than him trying to, hand out ARs at every public kindergarten across the country or anything like that, which is what, some of them would probably do if given the opportunity. So I guess I'll take it.
Yeah, I remember my kid's third grade teacher. She was a highly trained and highly precise and accurate guns sniper. You know?
Well, a lot of people don't realize that a lot of times former special ops guys, Navy SEAL types, when they retire, they go into elementary school teaching. A lot of people didn't know that because they love finger painting and stuff. There's a lot of overlap between the skill sets, so kind of makes sense.
It's a natural progression. What we can do.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.